Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I am planning with this kit from Bloom Paper Studio. It's called Butterfly and it's a beautiful springtime kit. It has very light pastels, pastel pink, green, purple, definitely spring themed colors. Love all the doilies. I especially love the washi with the butterflies. Super excited to use my butterfly deco. And we've got a ton of floral deco, so we'll definitely be incorporating that. I am also happy because I matched my nails to this spread. And yeah, let's get into it. So I didn't prep any questions this week. I have really just been kind of relaxing. So this spread is actually from the week of the 21st, and I'm kind of just now getting around to doing the voiceover and posting it. But yeah, a lot has been going on, mainly that I actually quit my job last week, and I'm starting a new one this coming week. And while it needed to happen, I think it was a long time coming and something that I'm really glad that I did, that I think will be better for my overall, mental and emotional health. It's still really hard and scary. And it's hard because, it's scary to think about leaving a place and having to transition to a new place. So we're in 2022 now. This is arguably year 3 of the pandemic, where COVID is still, something we're all talking about and living with. I know that a lot of places have, relaxed the mask mandates and especially indoors. But for me, since I haven't gone back to the office and I've changed jobs, twice now, it still doesn't feel like, things are quote unquote back to normal. I don't think they'll ever go back to the way they exactly were. So this is essentially, the third job that I've had in pandemic times, this will be. The first job that I started the pandemic with 2020 with, I had actually been in person, like most people, and had that whole go to office life. But this will be the second job that I'm starting remotely. And starting remotely, presents its own challenges. You're getting to know people who you may not meet in real life, either for a long time or ever. They may already know each other, pre-pandemic or not, and already, they will probably already know each other regardless, but you'll kind of be the new kid on the block. I am also managing a larger team than I did at my previous job, so that's, a new challenge for me. So yeah, there's a lot to be kind of not concerned about, but just it's on my mind. This past week though, I've been off. I took a week off. I kind of wish I took 2 weeks off. I took 3 weeks in my last big jump from when I left my other job to come to this last job that I just left. But I was like, I don't need that much time. And now I wish I had taken, 2 weeks off in between. But this week I have just spent kind of really relaxing and trying to just take everything in and really just engage in a lot of self-care, really slow down, really take time to rest, really not pressure myself into doing a ton of things. I haven't even, my job supplies me a computer. I haven't even opened my computer yet. I will do that on, Monday morning or maybe Sunday night. And so I have been focused on really just taking, what little time I have since I only took 1 week to rest. And I think it's been pretty restorative, I have figured out that for me to function well, I need to have a nap midday sometime after lunch. Now, obviously that is not going to work, every day, not while I'm working. But it has just been nice to kind of notice what natural habits I fall into when I'm not working. And I think that this is kind of how more of my vacations are going to be. Previously I had kind of been under the impression that if you're going to take a vacation, it needs to be like you're going to go somewhere, you're going to do something different. But I kind of think vacation at home, where it's just like you're doing your normal life, but you're not going to work, is actually works a little bit better for me. I'm the sort of person who really likes routine. I thrive when I have a consistent schedule from week to week, and I know exactly what I'm doing and where I'm going to be and what's happening. And when there's too much change, it can be really kind of unsettling for me. It takes a while for me to get used to. So normally when I travel, like let's say I'm going to see my sister or something, like it's hard for me to get adjusted, It's hard for me to get adjusted to a new environment. I'm usually at her house, or I'm in a hotel, depending on how many people are visiting, and then the time change because she's on Central Time and I'm on Pacific Standard Time. So like, I think going forward, I'm gonna look to plan a vacation coming up in the next 2 months. And it's gonna just be taking a few days at home to not work and to kind of just be still. So yeah, so that's what's going on this week. Also, while I was on vacation, my family was on vacation as well. One of the big kind of things to come out of my job, a lot of stuff happened that I was not thrilled about. Obviously, that's why I left. But one good thing to come out of my job was I was able to send my whole family on vacation, which, I feel such like joy about. So I sent my mother, my sister, my other sister, and my brother-in-law and my niece to Turks and Caicos. Yeah, Turks and Caicos for a week. And I got all their flights, lodging, etc. And it was for my mom's birthday. My mom's birthday is March 20th. And I was like, why don't we, my sister was like, what are we going to do? And I was like, why don't you guys go on a trip? Because I know she's been dying to go on a trip. They haven't really traveled very much since the baby was born. So I was like, yeah, I will just take care of this, because, I was fortunate enough to be in a position from my last job to be able to do this. And they had so much fun. They said, what can we do? Are you sure you don't want to come? And I was like, hey, I just like being in my house. I'm not really a beach person. I want to just hang out at home, but you guys have fun. So they sent me tons of pictures while they were there, and everyone looked like they had such a good time. I think my niece was a little bit unsure. This is not her first time at the beach, because she's been to the lake in Chicago, but this might have been her first time on like a really warm climate. And she also, is not like struggles, I think, to change routines. Like they said, she wasn't sleeping very well the first couple of nights. So, but all the adults had a really good time. They went and had lots of great dinners. And so, yeah, I just felt a really kind of warm feeling knowing that they were there and having a good time. And yeah, I mean, my parents are immigrants. So I'm first gen, and I never really think about it, but occasionally in moments like this, I'm like, I feel good that I am able to do these things for my family, and to really, provide them with experiences that they may not have otherwise had. Like, I feel great about that. So that was another good thing that happened this week. It's funny, my executive coach, who I work with on management and all that stuff, she encourages me to think of like, what good things happened this week? Because normally when I get on the call with her, I'm like, here's everything at work that's making me very mad right now. And like, what do I do? Like, here's all my management challenges. Here, my direct report is not listening. He's not doing stuff. Like, I know they're not going to listen to this because I know they don't, watch my YouTube channel, but I work with some people where I'm like, I have no idea how you have made it thus far in life and in work situations. It's like, as a manager, I try to give people very kind of clear instructions and give them the opportunity to ask questions along the way. And we set deadlines, and I ask them, hey, does this deadline feel feasible? What do you need to make sure this happens? And I'm like, let me know if you get stuck. I'll help unblock you if you need help. And it's like, literally, we'll discuss all of this the deadline will come up due and it just won't get done. And I'm like, what happened? You know, we talked about this. Oh, well, I thought this other thing was more important. If we talked about a timeline and we talked about like the steps that need to get done, why is it that you decided on your own, independently, that something else was more important? You just totally missed this important deadline. It's just, yeah. So that's something as a manager, I think I, need to learn a little bit more how to cope with that, because I've been to quote unquote manager school. I was in a 4-month intensive management training program at my last job. And everything they tell you is like, give context up front, give people what they need to succeed, etc. And you like think you do everything right. And the people just do whatever they want. And like, I can't deal with that. I mean, I need to learn to deal with it, but every time that happened, which it did happen on multiple occasions, I'm like, what am I doing wrong? Am I not communicating effectively when I say, hey, do you understand? And like go over things 2-3 times, like, anywho. So my executive coach encourages me to think of like, what are good things that happened this week? So that was one good thing. I got some time to rest this week. Also, my boyfriend and I went to a drive-in movie and we saw The Batman. Now, I don't know. I'm just going to say I didn't like it. So this was our first experience at a drive-in movie. Now, every week we do date night, and date night means we take turns where one person is in charge of the food and the activity. So the activity could be something as simple as like, we're gonna have tacos and do a crossword puzzle together, or like we're gonna go out for burgers and we're gonna go to the drive-in, which was, it was my turn this week, and that's what I picked. Now, a drive-in movie sounds good in theory, I think, and sounds really fun, but it's kind of like being in a real movie theater, except to give everyone in the movie theater a flashlight and have them just, whenever they need to do anything, have them stand up and shine that flashlight in your face. Like, people were just not respecting the headlight etiquette, and I'm like, what is going on? They literally say it like multiple times before the show comes on, dim your headlights, turn them off. So there was that. And then we watched The Batman. So we made a couple of mistakes. The first mistake was not bringing snacks. Now, I didn't know how long this movie was going to be. I assumed that it couldn't be longer than like 2 hours. I don't know why I thought that. It turned out to be almost 3. It was 2 hours and 56 minutes. And I did not bother to look up the time before we went there. So we're sitting there and I'm like, is this movie over yet? Oh my gosh. We had no snacks. We had water, but we didn't have any snacks. They had snacks at the drive-in movie, but my boyfriend was like, I don't like any of these snacks. And I'm like, well, we didn't bring any, so next time we're gonna bring snacks. Thirdly, the movie was just, I mean, the dialogue felt like it wasn't very well written. It read to me very much at times like high school play dialogue, or maybe that was just the way it was acted. But I mean, honestly, I don't think it was Robert Pattinson. I think it was the dialogue. Because some of the times he'd like turn to saying like, what is that? And the guy's talking about, oh, like, this is Maroney's operation. Then he goes, they're talking about Maroney. I'm like, we literally just heard him say that they're talking about Maroney. Do you need to repeat it? Needless to say, I would not recommend. I did not think it was good. And yeah, I mean, I think it may have been hampered by the fact, like I said, we were in the car. We didn't have snacks. And we didn't expect it to be as long as it was, but overall, I don't think it was a good movie. Like, it just was not good. Anyway, we are at the end of the spread. Hope you all enjoyed my ramblings this week and watching the spread come together. There's so many butterflies. And yeah, I will see you all next time. Bye.